The Egyptian sun beats down on the Valley of the Kings, a silent landscape carved with the ambitions of pharaohs. For centuries, this hidden valley was the final resting place for Egypt's greatest rulers, their tombs cut deep into the limestone to guard them from robbers. Yet time and greed proved stronger than stone. Tomb after tomb was found empty, treasures long vanished. Archaeologists scoured the valley, but hope faded with every shattered sarcophagus. The world believed the valley's secrets were spent, until one name lingered: Tutankhamun. A minor king, nearly erased from history, his tomb was thought lost or destroyed. Most experts believed the valley had nothing left to give. But Howard Carter, an English archaeologist, disagreed. Carter was convinced Tutankhamun's tomb was still hidden, perhaps overlooked beneath debris from grander burials. For years he searched, driven by a stubborn hope. Others called it a fool's errand, but Carter pressed on, certain that the sand still concealed a miracle. He believed the boy king's modest tomb might have escaped notice, buried beneath the rubble of history. The valley, silent and sun-baked, waited. Carter's quest was more than a search for treasure. It was a search for a lost story. Somewhere beneath the dust, he believed, lay a discovery that would rewrite history. And he was right. Howard Carter's obsession with Egypt began as a young artist, sketching ancient tombs. He learned archaeology in the field, developing a sharp eye and relentless determination. Backed by Lord Carnarvon, Carter spent years digging in the Valley of the Kings, uncovering little but disappointment. The valley was declared exhausted. Funding and patience wore thin. In 1922, Carnarvon gave Carter one last season to find something, anything. Carter gambled on a small, ignored patch near the tomb of Ramesses VI, buried under ancient workers' huts. It was a final, desperate move. Carter's team began clearing the huts, digging into the bedrock as the Egyptian sun beat down. Tension mounted. This was Carter's last chance. Every shovel of sand could reveal triumph or failure. The world had moved on, but Carter's hope remained. He watched, anxious, as his team worked. The fate of his dream lay just beneath the surface. Would the valley finally yield its last secret? The answer was only a few feet away. The search was about to change history. On November 4, 1922, a water boy stumbled on a stone step buried in the sand. The foreman called Carter, who rushed to the site, heart pounding. A sunken staircase emerged, 16 steps leading to a sealed doorway, stamped with royal necropolis seals. Carter knew instantly this was a tomb, untouched for millennia. He made a small hole in the door, peering inside with a candle. The passage was filled with rubble, evidence of ancient robbers but also of priests who resealed the tomb. Hope surged. The greatest treasures might still be inside. Carter resealed the entrance and sent word to Lord Carnarvon. Carnarvon arrived weeks later, and together they opened a second sealed doorway. Carter peered inside, silent with awe. "Can you see anything?" Carnarvon asked. Carter replied, "Yes, wonderful things." The search was over. The real adventure had just begun. The world would soon witness the greatest archaeological discovery of all time. The tomb of Tutankhamun was about to reveal its secrets. The valley's silence was finally broken. History was about to be rewritten. Carter's candlelight revealed a chaotic treasure trove: golden chariots, animal-shaped couches, ornate chests, and statues of the king. The antechamber was packed with objects, untouched for over 3,000 years. The air was thick with the scent of ancient oils and resins. Unlike other plundered tombs, this was a royal collection preserved in time. Every item told a story: a golden throne, game boards, ceremonial weapons, even the king's clothing. These were not just artifacts, they were the personal belongings of a young pharaoh, prepared for eternity. The discovery was a window into the life and death of Egypt's 18th dynasty. Carter knew the task ahead was immense. Every object had to be documented and preserved. This was no treasure hunt, but a scientific excavation on an unprecedented scale. Years of work lay ahead, and this was only the first room. Another sealed doorway, guarded by statues, promised even greater secrets. Carter was certain the burial chamber, and the king himself, waited beyond. The greatest secret was still hidden. The world held its breath. The tomb was far from empty. After months of careful work, Carter opened the sealed doorway to the burial chamber. Inside stood an enormous golden shrine, filling the room and protecting the king's body. The shrine's doors were sealed, untouched since the funeral. Carter unbolted the doors, revealing a series of nested shrines, each more ornate than the last. At the heart was a massive quartzite sarcophagus, guarded by carved goddesses. The granite lid was lifted with ropes and pulleys, revealing 3 nested coffins. The first 2 were gilded wood, but the innermost was solid gold. Inside lay the mummified remains of Tutankhamun. Carter had reached his goal, the untouched burial of a pharaoh. The craftsmanship was breathtaking, the preservation miraculous. The tomb's secrets were finally revealed. The world was face to face with the boy king. The discovery was beyond imagination. Tutankhamun's story was no longer lost. The legend was born. When Carter opened the final gold coffin, he found the iconic death mask of Tutankhamun. Crafted from gold and inlaid with precious stones, the mask's serene face became a symbol of ancient Egypt. It was designed to protect the king's spirit and ensure his recognition in the afterlife. The mask's artistry and symbolism were unmatched: cobra and vulture, false beard and piercing eyes. For Carter, this was the ultimate discovery, a direct link to a forgotten king. The mask transformed Tutankhamun from obscurity to global fame. His image became synonymous with the mystery and splendor of Egypt. Millions have gazed upon the mask, captivated by its beauty and power. It is the face of eternity, a golden promise of immortality. The mask endures as the world's most famous ancient artifact. Tutankhamun's legacy was sealed in gold. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb became a worldwide sensation. Newspapers chronicled every detail, but soon, rumors of a pharaoh's curse took hold. The legend began with Lord Carnarvon's sudden death from an infected mosquito bite. Stories spread of mysterious coincidences, lights going out in Cairo, a dog's howl at the moment of death. Other deaths followed, each linked to the tomb by eager reporters. Tales of a deadly inscription, "Death shall come on swift wings," fueled the myth, though no such warning was ever found. The curse captured imaginations, adding danger and intrigue to the discovery. The story became as famous as the treasures themselves. Fact and fiction blurred, and the legend grew. The curse of the pharaohs became a chilling ghost story for the modern age. Tutankhamun's tomb was now shrouded in mystery. Scientists soon sought rational explanations for the so-called curse. The tomb's sealed environment was a breeding ground for dangerous bacteria and mold. Lord Carnarvon's poor health made him vulnerable to infection, his death likely a tragic coincidence. Most other deaths were from natural causes common at the time. Studies showed no statistical difference in lifespans of those who entered the tomb. Howard Carter himself lived for years after the discovery. The curse persisted because it made a great story: mystery, danger, and the supernatural. The media amplified the myth, captivating the public. Today, the legend endures, not for its truth but for its power to fascinate. The curse became part of Tutankhamun's enduring legacy. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb changed archaeology forever. For the first time, a pharaoh's tomb was found nearly intact, offering a window into ancient Egypt. Carter's meticulous methods set new standards for excavation and preservation. The find sparked Egyptomania, influencing art, fashion, and culture worldwide. Tutankhamun became a global icon, his treasures drawing millions to museums. For Egypt, the discovery was a source of national pride and a symbol of heritage. The artifacts remained in Egypt, establishing a new era of cultural ownership. A century later, Tutankhamun's legacy endures, not for his reign but for the miracle of his rediscovery. His small tomb became the greatest archaeological find of all time. The boy king's story continues to inspire awe, a golden chapter in human history.